In 1975, a man walked into a police station in a small town in Ohio. He wasn't there to report a crime. He was there because he remembered committing one, in a life he never lived. His name was James Leininger. He was 4 years old. What happened next was documented, investigated, and never fully explained. It started with nightmares. Every night, the same dream. A plane, fire, water rushing in. A small boy screaming a name no one in his family recognized. His parents assumed it was just that, nightmares. Children have them. It passes. It didn't pass. By age 3, James could identify specific World War II aircraft by name. Not from books, not from television. He had never been exposed to this information. His parents were certain of this. He spoke of a man named Jack Larson. He said Jack was his friend. He said they flew together. He said Jack was still waiting. His father, a deeply religious man who did not believe in reincarnation, began to investigate. What he found disturbed him profoundly. Jack Larson was real. He had been a pilot in World War II. He was still alive. This is where the case stops being a curiosity and starts being something else entirely. James knew the name of the aircraft carrier his previous self had flown from, the USS Natoma Bay, a ship so obscure it barely exists in popular history. He knew the name of the pilot he believed he had been, James Houston, Jr., a real man, a pilot who died exactly the way young James described, shot down over Iwo Jima, his plane catching fire, crashing into the Pacific Ocean. He drew pictures, detailed, technically accurate pictures of World War II aircraft, signed them, not with his own name, with James Houston's. Dr. Jim Tucker of the University of Virginia, one of the world's leading researchers on childhood past life memories, studied this case extensively. His conclusion was not dismissive. He called it one of the most compelling cases he had ever encountered. And Tucker has studied over 2,500 similar cases. Now, before you decide what this means, let's talk about what we actually know. Mainstream science does not accept reincarnation. Consciousness, according to the dominant model, is a product of the brain. When the brain dies, consciousness ends. Full stop. But here is the problem. We don't actually understand consciousness, not really. We know what the brain does. We don't know what produces the experience of being aware, of feeling, of remembering. This is called the hard problem of consciousness, and it remains completely unsolved. Which means the door isn't fully closed. Some researchers propose that consciousness may exist independently of the brain, that the brain is a receiver, not a generator, like a radio that picks up a signal it didn't create. If that's true, even partially, then what James Leininger experienced becomes something worth taking seriously. Not as proof, but as a question we don't yet have the tools to answer. James Leininger is not alone. A girl in Sri Lanka who described a previous life in a village 100 miles away with accurate names, addresses, and family members verified by investigators. A boy in Lebanon who led researchers to a body buried under a house he had never visited, the body of the man he claimed to have been. Over 2,500 documented cases, across cultures, across continents, across centuries. Most are ignored. Some are explained away. A few cannot be explained at all. And the question that remains, the one that science hasn't answered and religion hasn't settled, is this. What are you exactly? And where were you before you were here. We don't know what James Leininger's memories mean. He's an adult now. He rarely speaks about it. But he still remembers. This is Void Archive. We don't give you answers. We give you the questions they don't want you asking. The next file is already open.